First at 10 o'clock, a Broward Sheriff's deputy is on the wrong side of the law, accused of forcing illegal immigrants to have sex with them. Deputy Jonathan Bleiweiss faces several charges and is being held without bond tonight. He was arrested today after sexually assaulting a male victim in Fort Lauderdale. CBS 4's Carrie Codd joins us live now from BSO headquarters in Fort Lauderdale with more. And Carrie, this deputy was recently honored for his police work?
Juwan, that was reported by the South Florida Blade magazine that Jonathan Bleiweiss was named the 2008 Employee of the Year for the Oakland Park Sheriff's Office District. Now, Bleiweiss is in jail and will be for the foreseeable future. He's being held without bond, facing 14 felony counts. We can also tell you that according to BSO, the incidents occurred while Bleiweiss was on duty, armed, in uniform, and that some of the incidents even occurred in his marked Sheriff's Office vehicle. 7-year Broward Sheriff's Deputy Jonathan Bleiweiss is accused of forcing male illegal immigrants into sex acts. Broward Sheriff Al Lamberti said Bleiweiss chose men in their late teens and 20s who were illegally in the United States.
He searched out victims and actually sexually battered his victims while he was on duty. I can't think of a worse betrayal of public trust.
Bleiweiss patrolled these streets of Oakland Park. Detectives say Bleiweiss would stop men for traffic violations and on numerous instances sexually battered them.
He will go and start patting down their groin area to the point of touching inside their clothing.
Bleiweiss faces 14 felony counts for one victim, and detectives know of at least 7 other victims. BSO wants to know if there are more victims in the community. Carlos Lara lives in the Oakland Park area where Bleiweiss worked. He told us he's aware of 4 men who said Bleiweiss did this to them.
It's bad because you don't have to take advantage of the people who don't have papers.
Martha Hincapie owns a business in Oakland Park and deals with many migrant workers. She said they're a vulnerable group.
They're not going to tell anybody because they know that they don't have any legal support for this type of situation. And I think it's a shame of the police department.
Now, Bleiweiss is suspended from the Broward Sheriff's Office without pay. As for his court proceedings, he's expected to go before a judge tomorrow morning. Now, the Sheriff's Office does believe there are other victims out there. If you are a victim or know someone who is, you are urged to call 954-321-4249. Now, Bleiweiss was an openly gay member of the South Florida gay community. There was an article written about him in the South Florida Blade magazine. To read that article and to read more about what the gay community is saying about this, go to CBS4.com and click on my blog. Live in Fort Lauderdale, Carrie Codd, CBS 4 News at 10.
This Broward County officer insists that he is innocent. Good evening. I'm Elliot Rodriguez in for Antonio Mora.
And I'm Shannon Horry. Deputy Jonathan Bleiweiss will remain in jail for the foreseeable future. A judge said the charges against him are too serious to grant him bond. CBS 4's Joan Murray is live in Fort Lauderdale with more on the reaction in the community to this. And many people call these accusations shocking, Joan.
That's right, Shannon, including the mother of one of the alleged victims. You're going to hear from her in just a minute. Meanwhile, we went exploring this issue of why these men were afraid to come forward for so long. The reason, they were afraid of deportation.
He was embarrassed to tell me because I'm a woman. He told the detective.
This mother, who asked us to keep her identity private, told us about the shame her 17-year-old son suffered because he was sexually abused.
Are you Mr. Jonathan Bleiweiss?
Yes, Your Honor.
BSO Deputy Jonathan Bleiweiss is accused of molesting that teenager and at least 7 other undocumented immigrants while he was on duty. This mother says her son did not tell, and neither did the others because they were afraid.
Yes, since they were afraid of being deported.
And according to BSO, all of the alleged victims were intimidated by Bleiweiss because he was law enforcement. Bleiweiss's attorney says police are often targeted.
He's a highly decorated officer. He has been Officer of the Year, and that also makes me think that these charges are baseless and that there's more to this and that there's something else going on here other than that these victims' accusations are necessarily going to be substantiated in a court of law.
Ironically, Bleiweiss told the South Florida gay publication The Blade that a sergeant once joked privately about his sexuality, referring to him as the sex offender.
Knowing John as my neighbor, he was a fine guy, and it's hard for me to accept that he did that.
Anyone can make an accusation against you, against me. It's easy to do. But whether or not there's truth to these accusations, that's going to be up for a jury to determine. And we need to determine the credibility of some of these witnesses.
And attorney Eric Schwartzreich told me that he did visit the deputy. The deputy is saddened over these allegations and intends to fight them very forcefully. Shannon?
Well, Joan, there at the jail, is he being held with the other inmates there, or are they keeping him in another area?
No, he has been separated. He is what is called protective custody, which is standard for any time a law enforcement officer is in a jail.
And
Back to you.
They do believe that possibly there could be more victims out there as well.
Right. 8 so far. BSO has identified 8 alleged victims, but they say they are continuing to investigate, that this could have been going on for over a year, so they are confident that they will find additional alleged victims. Back to you.
All right, Joan, thanks so much for that update. And you can look for more updates on the deputy arrested and the charges against him on our website. Just go to cbs4.com/local for the very latest.
Simple. I mean, reading the police report, it says that your client approached illegal immigrants. This gentleman, MC, that is Mike Charlie, MC. He was an illegal immigrant from El Salvador, and I believe his brother was involved somehow. It could be that someone could make an argument that they were the easy prey, that if somebody was going to commit a crime, they would commit a crime on people who are illegal, and maybe they wouldn't.
I understand the argument. I'm always worried here in court, because later, I mean, there should be some proof to support these allegations from these individuals.
Well, proof can come from testimony of a witness. Proof can come from testimony of an alleged victim, and the court's not saying that your client would ever be found, ultimately be found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But the court's been around the block a few times, practiced law for about 20 years. The court understands that a victim takes the stand. If a jury finds that victim believable, that defendant can be convicted based on one victim's testimony. There may not be any physical evidence. It just may be that's the person who did it, and let me tell you what happened.
The reason why I bring this up, Judge, is because what I'm getting is initials, which makes it very difficult
but that,
to find out, you know, to defend against these allegations at this stage.
The court understands and the frustration by the defense, but as the court has said, that's for another day, and that's based on a proper motion before the trial court, and the trial court can address that issue. And you probably have a good leg to stand on at that point.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, sir. Mr. Bleiweiss, you're going to be held no bond. No, I'm sorry, take that back. Your bonds will remain the same on the other counts. However, on count 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, the court will set your bonds as follows: $2,500 on 23, $2,500 on 24, $2,500 on 25. Count 26 will be $1,000, and count 27 will be $1,000. So all bond and release conditions shall remain the same. The court will order, if you have no direct or indirect contact with a alleged victim with the initials of MC, that is the person who is alleged to be an illegal immigrant, a male from El Salvador, whose initials are MC, Mike Charlie. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Schwartzreich. Thank you, Mr. Bleiweiss.
Thank you.